Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you can play a song called Warriors by Imagine Dragons. And we ended up cabling this on first fret to kind of match the recording. We'll walk through a couple things in reposition. And we start off with this cool intro progression that kind of becomes our first verse, where we start on the E minor chord. And normally you do this first finger on the A second, second finger on the D second. And if you strum all those together, the sad sounds of E minor. Now you may also dig on adding in the third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, kind of working that for your E minor. And then from the E minor we'd be going to a D major chord. And normally you'd be going first finger on the G second, second finger on the high E second, third finger on the B string, third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord and it sounds really happy. Now you may also dig on lifting the second finger, always a fun finger to lift. That makes it D sus2, or you could add in the pinky on the high E third and kind of make that a D suspended chord. And then from the D, we'd be going to a C major chord. Normally you do this first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second fret, third finger on the A string third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, the beautiful sound of C major. Now you may also dig on lifting the first finger and making that a C major 7. Adding in the pinky on the B string third for a C major 9, kind of saying some stuff around that. Or another way to play C major 9 would be doing first finger on the D second, second finger on the A third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, the beautiful sound of C major. And then from our C, actually, you kind of hear where the bass goes down to second fret on the A string. Actually, on that particular chord, it's really kind of a lot about the bass note. And you could use a B minor chord. And we'll talk about a couple different options here. Kind of doing first fret bar on the second fret, or first finger bar on the second fret, second finger on the B third, third finger on the D fourth, pinky on the G fourth. Make a B minor chord. Or you can lift off the pinky and make that B minor 7. Or another way to play B minor 7. We're doing first finger on the A second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the high E second. You're kind of working that for a B minor. Or you may dig on first finger on the A second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. And that can make that a little bit easier to work the B changes from the E minor to the D. You can use a D sus to C major 9 to the B minor. Kind of working it that way. Or you may even dig in, lifting off the pinky, making that a B minor 11. Or if you really want to get a lot of weight to point to the E minor chord again, you can use a B7 chord by doing first finger on the D first fret, second finger on the A second, third finger on the G second, pinky on the high E second. You strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a B7, it sounds really nasty. And you can also jazz that up a little bit and take your third finger and flatten them over the G, B, and E strings, and make that a B9. Might be another possibility too. And it is a little weird actually. The timing on the song actually is something called 6/8, where you're kind of feeling almost like a 6 down count on each chord. E minor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B. And I'm adding a little bit of muting to this with the right hand, so kind of laying down the flat of my right hand, kind of the side of the right hand, down on top of the saddle to make that a little bit sneaky. Now, if you're quick enough, you could kind of work that into kind of a strum that really matches the piano rhythm. Kind of a down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. So if you try it that way, you'd have E minor, B, C, D, E minor, D. Or there are lots of variations of that you can kind of fit in there too. A lot of times with a song like this, I'll kind of dig on it down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. But it would be really fast for the song. Down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, not down. Or if you're just starting out, you may want to try and feel it in 2. It's kind of a big down for the first 3 idea, and then a down up for the second 3. So if you're really just starting out and you want to try and match it to the tune, it might be easier just working it down, down up on each one. E minor, down, up, D, down, up, C, down, up, D, down, up, E minor, down, up, D, down, up, C, down, up, E minor, B7. And you can really even kind of mix it up between those B ideas through the song, kind of throwing in that B7. From there, we repeat that 4 times for our first verse, and then we go into our first chorus. Our chorus kind of mixes up that idea. And we start on the E minor, and then we go to a G major chord. And normally do this first finger on the A second, second finger on the low E third, third finger on the high E third. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord. It sounds really happy. And you may also dig on putting the third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, kind of working that through the G major. And then from the G, we kind of go into our C and then our B7. So it's almost like the G takes the place of the D chord. So E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, B7. And you really work any of those strumming ideas that we were talking about, just kind of matching your level, or even mixing up between those can be cool too. Times for our main chorus, and then we go into our bridge part. And on the bridge, we start on the E minor chord, and more E minor, then we go to our C, but then we go to an A minor chord. Normally you do this first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second fret, third finger on the G second fret. If you strum all those together, the sad sounds of A minor. Now you may also dig on lifting the first finger and making it an A sus2. We're adding the pinky on the B third for an A suspended, kind of saying some stuff around that. Or you may dig on at lifting the third finger, an A minor 7. We're adding in the pinky on the high E third for an A minor 7. Or, especially if you're digging on the other C major non-voicing, you may dig on an A7 sus by doing the first finger on the D second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. Kind of working that for the A. And then from our A, we go to our G, and more G. And you can even mix it up between all those ideas. B7, E minor, D, C, B7, C, G, A minor, and then we kind of have a big stop on a B7. And then we'll basically be repeating those ideas kind of in variation through the song. Now there is a really cool riff on the outro chorus where on the last A minor B7 chord, you'll kind of hear this little riff where you can play open A, second fret on the A, and then third fret on the A. And you could even kind of play more than just those notes, but I think a really easy way out on that riff is kind of 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3 on the A string. And then you may want to go 2, 3, 5 on the A string. So 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. And then on the last outro, or at the very, very end, the last E minor chords, you'll kind of hear this riff where you can play 4th fret on the B string to open E, and then back to 4 on the B, open E, 4 on the B, open E. And it's kind of matching that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 idea. 4, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want to kind of try and use that riff kind of on that last E minor. Now the weird part is to play on with Imagine Dragons, instead of starting on an E minor chord, they're starting on an F minor chord. So to play on with the recording, what you want to do is take a CAPO, and if you put the CAPO on first fret, then now your E minor is really an F minor chord, and your D is really an E flat major, and your C is really a D flat major, and your B7 is really a C7, or if you're doing the B minor, it's really a C minor, and then the G major is really an A flat major, and our A minor is really a B flat minor. But to take it from the very, very beginning, actually on the intro idea, you can use any of those strummings we've been talking about. So kind of the down count idea can be very cool. Or that strumming variation down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 D, C, B7, or the down, down, up, down, up. Song like this too is bass notes, and a lot of times on that first down of the downs, you could kind of throw in a bass note for the chord, or you could even kind of work this as kind of like that bass down up idea. You should just go over basses. So open E is kind of the bass note on an E minor chord. On the D is a D note or an open D string. C we have the A for the bass. On the B7 we have the A for the bass. We have the low E for the bass, and on the A minor we have the A for the bass. down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. You know, not E. So we tried the verse that way. The E minor, D, C, E minor. We'll mix it up between those patterns. C, E minor, D, C, our chorus part. You can really work that any of those ways we've been talking about. Kind of E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, E minor, G. Between those ideas might be kind of cool too. Kind of find a way that you like and kind of run with it. And then from there, then we'll be going into our bridge part, which mixes up a lot of those chords we were talking about. E minor, C, A minor, G, G, E, E minor, D, C, or if you're digging on kind of our quicker pace, A minor, C, A minor, into our next, kind of going into our chorus. So we got E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, from there, then we'll be going into our solo part. So E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, B7, E minor, G, C, kind of play around with some solo ideas through that part. We're kind of working an E minor chord or an F minor, right, with the capo. So I just shot a video on some jam tracks actually on pentatonic scale, and so if you're interested in kind of playing solo ideas through this, you'd be starting on the F note, and you could work it from the first fret, which now is covered by the capo. Kind of open 3 on the low E, open the 2nd on the A, open the 2nd on the D, open the 2nd on the G, open the 3rd on the B, third on the high E, kind of 03, 02, 02, 02, 03, 03 is your pentatonic scale and root position. If you want that to sound more lead guitar-esque, you could play the same notes by adding 12 frets, actually anytime on the guitar. So you could start 13 on the low E to 16 on the E, and then 13, 15 on the A, 13, 15 on the D, 13, 15 on the G, 13, 16 on the B, 13, 16 on the high E. So you may want to kind of experiment with hammer-on licks through that scale, pull-off licks through that scale, slides in that scale could be cool, double stops, playing 2 notes at the same time. You'll definitely hear some licks through the solo that are kind of working bends through that scale. Or you may want to try mixing it up with an F minor scale, kind of 13, 15, 16 on the low E, 13, 15, 16 on the A, 13, 15, 17 on the D, 13, 15, 17 on the G, and then 14, and then 15, or 16, 17, oh wait, whoa, wow, started thinking E minor, 14, 16, 17 on the B, and then 15, 16, 17 on the high E. Might be cool. Or you could play around with an E harmonic minor scale, and kind of, let's see what we have, 13, 15, 16, 13, 15, 16, but then 14, 15, 16, 13, 15, 17, and then 14, and then 17, 18, and then 15, 16, 18 on the high E. So you can kind of pause the video and check out those tabs if you're interested in playing around with some cool scales over the top of that. Randomly, if you're digging on the root position idea even, you could throw in open licks with the chord, and this could be kind of a cool idea. You could kind of do the chord, make up a lick, play the next chord, lick, next chord, lick, next chord, lick. And I always like adding in parts of the second pattern. Actually, would kind of normally be 5, all the 5ths but G's 4. Now it's all the 6ths but G's 5. We're double pull-off licks, double hammer-on licks, that kind of thing. So I might kind of play around with something like that, especially if I was playing it out solo. I might want that to feel more like a solo idea. So kind of a little piece of the rhythm lick could be a cool idea to play around with. Might be kind of cool. And then from that solo, then we'll be going into our outro course. And so you can really work that with any of those ideas we've been talking about. E minor, G, C, 7, E minor, C, 7, E minor, C, A minor, B, C, G, A minor, B, kind of our A minor lick, B lick, and then we might want to go into that E minor lick at the very end. And lastly, I was kind of doing that hybrid picking, using my pick for my bass and my fingers to cover the lick. Kind of throw it in the open low E string as a bass to kind of support that. I think that was a little cleaner than what I did earlier, but let's see. You can even kind of work the E minor as a one finger deal. And kind of get the pinky over to that 4th fret. Might be cool. You might want to experiment with that too. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Warriors by Imagine Dragons. So good luck.